The year is 1799. The world is on the brink of a new century, but in the heart of southern India, an epic struggle is unfolding. Imagine the scene. The sun beats down on the walls of Seringapatam. Cannons roar. Smoke fills the air. The ground trembles with the force of the explosions, and the cries of soldiers echo through the battlefield. This is no ordinary battle. This is a clash of empires, a confrontation that will determine the future of a kingdom. This is a fight for survival. The defenders are outnumbered, but their spirit is unbroken. They know that the fate of their homeland rests on their shoulders. Seringapatam, the capital of Mysore, is under siege. Its walls, once a symbol of strength, now bear the scars of relentless bombardment. Leading the defense is Tipu Sultan, the Tiger of Mysore. A man of vision and valor, he has dedicated his life to protecting his people and his kingdom. He is facing the might of the British East India Company. These are not just soldiers, they are the vanguard of an empire, driven by a thirst for conquest and control. They are determined to crush him and seize control of his kingdom. The British flag waves over the battlefield, a stark reminder of their ambition. Tipu Sultan is no stranger to war. He has fought many battles, each one honing his skills and sharpening his resolve. He is a skilled warrior and a shrewd strategist. His mind is a battlefield of its own, constantly devising new ways to outmaneuver his enemies. But the British are a formidable foe, driven by greed and ambition. Their ranks are disciplined, their resolve unyielding. The odds are stacked against Tipu Sultan. His forces are outnumbered and outgunned, but their determination is unwavering. The fate of Mysore hangs in the balance. Every moment, every decision could tip the scales. The air is thick with tension, as the future of a kingdom is decided in the heat of battle. Tipu Sultan was not just a king. He was a symbol of resistance against British expansionism. He was known for his courage, his military prowess, and his administrative reforms. Tipu Sultan modernized his army. He introduced new technologies like rockets and iron-cased cannons. He was a patron of learning and a shrewd diplomat. He knew the threat the British posed. He had fought them before, and he knew this time the stakes were higher than ever. The struggle between Tipu Sultan and the British East India Company was not a sudden eruption. It was the culmination of decades of mistrust and conflict. The British East India Company, initially traders, had grown increasingly powerful. They sought to expand their control over India, using their military might to subdue local rulers. Tipu Sultan refused to bow to the company's ambitions. He saw them for what they were, a threat to his kingdom and to India's independence. He vowed to resist their advances. The Fourth Anglo-Mysore War was the final chapter in this long conflict. The British East India Company, allied with the Marathas and the Nizam of Hyderabad, launched a three-pronged attack on Mysore. Their objective was clear: to capture Seringapatam and eliminate Tipu Sultan. The company's forces outnumbered Tipu's. They were equipped with superior weaponry. Tipu Sultan, however, was prepared to fight to the death. He knew the importance of this battle, not just for himself, but for the future of his kingdom. Section 5. The Siege of Seringapatam begins. The Siege of Seringapatam began in April 1799. The combined forces of the British East India Company, the Marathas and the Nizam surrounded the fortified city. Their cannons bombarded the city walls relentlessly. The defenders of Seringapatam fought back with courage and determination. They inflicted heavy casualties on the besiegers, but the defenders were outnumbered and outgunned. The siege took its toll. Food and ammunition began to run low. The situation inside the city grew increasingly desperate. Section 6. A desperate defense. Despite the dire circumstances, Tipu Sultan refused to surrender. He rallied his troops, inspiring them to fight on. He led sorties against the enemy, trying to break the siege. He wrote to Napoleon Bonaparte, seeking his help against their common enemy. But his pleas for assistance went unanswered. The British continued their bombardment. On May 4, 1799, they breached the walls of Seringapatam. The final assault was about to begin. Section 7. The Fall of Seringapatam. The British stormed through the breach in the walls. Fierce hand-to-hand combat raged in the streets of Seringapatam. Tipu Sultan, in the thick of the battle, fought with the ferocity of a tiger. Despite his bravery, he was unable to stem the tide. The defenders were overwhelmed. Seringapatam, the once impregnable fortress, fell to the British. The fall of Seringapatam marked the end of Tipu Sultan's reign and the independence of Mysore. The kingdom was carved up between the British and their allies. Section 8. The Tiger's Last Stand. Tipu Sultan's death remains a poignant moment in history. Known as the Tiger of Mysore, he was a fierce and valiant ruler who fought relentlessly against the British East India Company. His final moments are shrouded in both legend and sorrow, symbolizing the end of an era of resistance. Accounts vary, but they all speak of his courage. Some soldiers recall his unwavering determination, even as the odds turned against him. They speak of a leader who inspired his men to fight with unparalleled bravery, a man who stood tall amidst the chaos of battle. Some say he fell, sword in hand, defending a narrow city gate. This gate, a crucial point of entry, was where Tipu Sultan made his last stand. His sword, a symbol of his unyielding spirit, clashed against the invaders, echoing his resolve to protect his kingdom at all costs. Others say he was discovered, mortally wounded, amidst a pile of enemy dead. His body, surrounded by those he had fought so fiercely against, was a testament to his relentless spirit. Even in his final moments, he remained a formidable force, striking fear into the hearts of his enemies. Whatever the truth, one thing is clear. Tipu Sultan fought bravely to the very end. His courage and tenacity were unmatched, and his legacy as a warrior king endures. His final battle was not just a fight for his kingdom, but a fight for his people and their freedom. He died defending his kingdom, his people, and his legacy. His death was not in vain, for it inspired countless others to continue the struggle for independence. Tipu Sultan's sacrifice became a rallying cry for future generations, a symbol of resistance against oppression. His death marked the end of an era. The battlefield, once alive with the sounds of clashing swords and battle cries, now lay silent, a somber reminder of the cost of war. The aftermath was a stark contrast to the fierce struggle that had taken place, a poignant end to a valiant fight. The era of independent kingdoms in India was drawing to a close, overshadowed by the growing dominance of the British East India Company. Tipu Sultan's death signaled a significant shift in power as the British tightened their grip on the subcontinent. The legacy of the Tiger of Mysore, however, continues to inspire and remind us of the enduring spirit of resistance. Section 9. The Legacy of the Tiger. This section delves into the life and legacy of one of India's most formidable rulers, Tipu Sultan, also known as the Tiger of Mysore. His story is one of bravery, resistance, and an unyielding spirit that continues to inspire generations. Tipu Sultan's defeat was a turning point in Indian history. The fall of Seringapatam in 1799 marked the end of his reign and the beginning of a new era. This battle was not just a clash of armies, but a confrontation of ideologies, where the desire for freedom met the ambitions of colonial expansion. It paved the way for the British East India Company's complete domination of India. The victory at Seringapatam allowed the British to consolidate their power, leading to nearly 2 centuries of colonial rule. This period saw significant changes in the social, economic, and political fabric of the Indian subcontinent. But Tipu Sultan is not remembered for his defeat. His legacy is far more profound. He is celebrated for his relentless fight against the British, his innovative military strategies, and his vision for a free and prosperous Mysore. His life story is a testament to the enduring spirit of resistance. He is remembered for his courage, his resistance, and his unwavering commitment to the independence of his kingdom. Tipu Sultan's determination to protect his land and people from foreign domination made him a hero in the eyes of many. His bravery in the face of overwhelming odds continues to be a source of inspiration, and his unwavering commitment to the independence of his kingdom. He was not just a warrior, but also a visionary leader who sought to modernize his state. His efforts in introducing new technologies, improving agriculture, and fostering trade were ahead of their time and laid the foundation for a progressive Mysore. He was a visionary ruler who implemented administrative and military reforms that were ahead of their time. His introduction of a new coinage system, the establishment of a navy, and the modernization of his army with the latest weaponry showcased his forward-thinking approach. These reforms not only strengthened his kingdom, but also set a precedent for future leaders. He was a symbol of defiance against foreign rule. His resistance against the British was not just a fight for territory, but a struggle for the soul of his nation. Tipu Sultan's legacy as a symbol of resistance continues to resonate, reminding us of the importance of standing up for one's beliefs and values. He was, and remains, the Tiger of Mysore. This title, earned through his fierce and relentless spirit, encapsulates his essence. The tiger, a symbol of strength and courage, perfectly represents Tipu Sultan's indomitable will and his enduring legacy. If you enjoyed this glimpse into history, please share this essay and subscribe for more captivating stories. By sharing these stories, we keep the memory of such remarkable figures alive and ensure that their contributions are never forgotten. Let's keep the past alive and learn from the stories of figures like Tipu Sultan. Their lives offer valuable lessons and insights that can guide us in our present and future endeavors. Join us in this journey of discovery and appreciation of our rich history.